The best part about working from home is the fact that I get to wear my slippers. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Better Life Project TV, the place to be to make your awesome business and life happen. Now, do you think that you're too busy for self-care? Or do you even think that self-care is only for the indulgent, the selfish, or people who just have more time for it? If you think this is you, this episode is an absolute must-watch. There are so many people out there who think that self-care is for people who are selfish or conceited, that it is a self-indulgent activity. But the truth is, self-care isn't an act of self-indulgence, it's an act of self-preservation. If you guys are serious about being the best version of yourselves, if you guys are serious about giving to your family and to your friends and it being a source of support and inspiration for the people around you, you need to replenish and refuel yourself. You need to nurture your physical, spiritual, emotional and mental well-being. You need to check in with yourself as often as you can to see how you're doing. And it is so important. I want to be able to make it as easy for all of you busy people to do as possible. So here are 3 very simple ways that you can practice self-care. Number 1, I want you guys to spend 5 minutes in the morning checking in with yourself to see how you are doing. And guess what? No phones, no computer, no laptop, no screens whatsoever. During these 5 minutes, I want you guys to try doing one of 2 things. You can even do the 2 things as well if you find them quite easy. 1, I want you to do a body scan. So that means that from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, you guys are bringing your energy and your focus to that part of you. It is a form of mindfulness meditation and it is my absolute favorite way to practice mindfulness. Quite often, I find it too hard almost to be fully mindful. It is an exercise and a skill and I do get better at it the longer that I practice it. But for me, doing a body scan, because I am so self-aware of my body, it just works. So it's something that I like to be able to practice first thing in the morning. I bring my attention and my focus and my energy to one part of my body and I just check in with it going, that's my toes, there are my knees, and it's just an awesome way to live in the moment. The second thing that I would love for you guys to try to do is to set your intention for the day. Now, for so many of us, we get lost in the day. We get lost in the flow and the drive. We react to so many events that take place without having a clear idea of how we want to feel when we go to bed that night. And I bet you guys have never even thought of asking yourself that question. But I want you to give it a go. I want you to ask yourself right now, when you go to bed tonight, how do you want to feel? Well, that, my friends, is your intention for the day. It will be your focus. It's almost as if you have created a spiritual or emotional goal for yourself, and it will help you make good decisions and choices about how you behave and think that day. The second part of your new self-care plan is going to be a weekly activity that is just about you. Now, maybe you already do something like that in the form of going to the gym, but maybe you just haven't been able to justify spending that time for yourself. Well, here is your permission, guys, and I hope I've been able to convince you how important it is that you look after yourself in this way. We have all, at various times in our life, felt completely burnt out, but we do not need to wait for a holiday to replenish our energy. We can start to look after ourselves daily and weekly too, so that when the holiday comes, we get to enjoy it. It's something that we want and something that we are excited about and not something that we need to do anymore. So your weekly activity could be the gym, but it could also be an art class or a salsa class. It could be a karate class. It could be a time where you leave your phone at home for 60 minutes and go walk along the pier or up in the mountains. It's a time that is just for you, where you're able to do something that you enjoy. The only objective of this weekly activity is to do something, connect with, and invite all that joy and happiness back into your life. The chances are that because you're really busy, you don't really know what makes you happy anymore, or you do know and you don't have time for it. Well, it is time to make time. And for your weekly activity, I want you to find one thing that makes you happy and do that one thing purely for the love of it. Your third task is a monthly activity. Now, this could be getting a manicure or a massage. It could be a weekend away. It could be a day where you escape, you go on a train and you just spend a day trip out somewhere. Again, it is just time for you where you get to escape the humdrum, the craziness, or the stress that can sometimes occupy and be our life. So that is the third thing that you need to do as part of your self-care plan. It means that you can create space for all of the things that you love doing. Quite often for a lot of us, we think that self-care could be a 6-pack of beer, a manicure, our hair, and it can be, but at the true heart of our self-care plan is tapping into and connecting with ourselves to see how it is that we're feeling, how we're doing. For so many of us, we ignore our feelings because sometimes in that moment it feels easier to ignore the hard or difficult or challenging feelings that we face throughout the day. We brush them under the rug with a hair treatment or a manicure or a takeout, but that doesn't actually fix the problem. By taking time out daily, weekly and monthly, you are creating space to tackle and understand this problem, but most importantly, to not judge yourself for it. Your mental, physical and spiritual well-being is so important to your overall happiness and productivity, to your ability to love, to connect, so many things. So it's worth taking this time. So to summarize, 5 minutes a day where you do a body scan and you make your intentions for the day. A weekly activity that is just about doing something that you love. And a monthly day trip, manicure, massage, where you can feel spoiled, where you can express gratitude for your body and for your mind by doing something kind and nice for it. Don't fall into the trap thinking that a manicure a day keeps the sadness away, because it doesn't. It's not true. Talking to yourself and having a dialogue with yourself, showing yourself love and kindness and not judging yourself for feeling the way that you do, that keeps the sadness away. But it also teaches you that sadness is not a bad thing, that you can treat yourself with love, kindness and compassion to help you understand more about that. Looking after yourself is not self-indulgent. It is a matter of self-preservation. And I hope that you guys will take these 3 activities pretty seriously so that you can be the best version of yourself that you can be. Guys, stay tuned for next week for another episode of Better Life Project TV. And as usual, if you want to send me a message at hello@thebetterlifeproject.ie or leave me a comment in the comments section below, I will be delighted to get back to you as soon as you can. That's all from me, guys. Take care. Ciao, ciao.